A group of legal experts appointed by the United Nations Commission on Human Rights has been investigating the treatment of prisoners who are the victims of apartheid in the Republic of South Africa. The area of investigation has subsequently been expanded to include southern Rhodesia, Namibia, formerly Southwest Africa, and the Portuguese territories in Africa. The experts held meetings at the United Nations and in various cities in Africa and Europe. They heard testimony from many witnesses on allegations of torture, ill treatment of prisoners, and subhuman conditions in the prison cells.
We were actually kicked and beaten with sticks when we were walking from one passage, one room where we left our clothes to go to a dressing room where we had to take on the prison clothes. And each time you pass through the passage for no reason at all, you had to be beaten somehow to be shown where you were.
Conditions in prison are of almost uniform hardship and discomfort, despite the claims from the South African prison authorities and the present government. And there is no doubt that a great deal could be done to improve them without demanding conditions of luxury or ease. Cells are cold, the number of blankets inadequate, the food poor and often cold, and conditions generally so bleak and harsh that they are in marked contrast with both the regulations governing prison conditions in South Africa and the claims of the prison authorities.
And as soon as I got up, a hessian bag was pulled over my head. And it was tied at my knees. I was then lifted by my feet and swung in the air like a pendulum, with my head knocking the ground every time, with every swing.
That whenever questions of torture, especially political, concerning political prisoners, are raised in the courts, the excuse of magistrates and judges is simply that it does not fall within our jurisdiction, that it is not relevant to the case, and therefore we cannot do anything about it. I was held incommunicado. I no contact whatsoever with the outside world. Absolutely no contact, either with your attorney, with your family, with friends, nobody whatsoever. The only people you had contact with was the magistrate, the warders, and the special branch. As a result of the exposures made on torture, both internationally and locally, the South African government has changed its method of applying torture. For instance, in recent times they have used what is known as the statue method, in which detainees are forced to stand for 60, 70 hours at a time without food or sleep, and thereby to induce them to speak. Of course, you'll realize that this method leaves no marks whatsoever.